the KGB. The name conjures images of ruthless spies and Cold War intrigue. The Komitet Gosoudarstvenной Bezopasnosti cast a long shadow over the world. It was the sword and shield of the Soviet Union, protecting the regime from its enemies. The KGB was notorious for its vast network and chilling efficiency in silencing dissent. From Washington, D.C. to London, KGB operatives gathered intelligence and eliminated opposition. Masters of disguise and manipulation, they were ruthless in their pursuit of Soviet objectives. The KGB shaped public opinion, using propaganda and disinformation to sow discord in the West. They infiltrated media, spread false rumors, and manipulated information to influence the global narrative. The KGB understood the power of perception and used it ruthlessly to advance their agenda. The roots of the KGB can be traced back to the chaos and violence of the Russian Revolution. In the aftermath of the Bolshevik seizure of power, the Cheka, the first Soviet secret police force, was established in 1917. Led by the ruthless Felix Dzerzhinsky, the Cheka quickly gained a reputation for brutality, employing terror and intimidation to crush any opposition to the fledgling communist state. Over the following decades, the Soviet security apparatus underwent several transformations, changing names and structures as the political landscape shifted. But one constant remained: the unwavering commitment to safeguarding the Soviet regime by any means necessary. In 1954, the KGB emerged from this turbulent history, inheriting the mantle of its predecessors and becoming the primary intelligence and security agency of the Soviet Union. The KGB was organized into different directorates, each responsible for specific areas of operation. The first Chief Directorate focused on foreign intelligence, while the second Chief Directorate was responsible for counterintelligence and internal security. Other directorates handled areas such as border security, communications surveillance, and the protection of Soviet leaders. This complex and compartmentalized structure allowed the KGB to operate with a high degree of secrecy and efficiency. The KGB's methods were as varied as its objectives. Espionage, the clandestine gathering of intelligence, formed the cornerstone of its operations. KGB agents, trained in the art of deception and infiltration, worked undercover in embassies, government agencies, and private companies around the world. They used sophisticated surveillance techniques, code-breaking expertise, and a network of informants to steal secrets and gather information on their adversaries. Beyond traditional espionage, the KGB excelled in the dark arts of disinformation and psychological warfare. They understood that sowing discord and manipulating public opinion could be just as effective as stealing secrets. KGB operatives disseminated propaganda through carefully cultivated channels, planting false stories in the media, forging documents to discredit opponents, and spreading rumors to create confusion and distrust. Assassination was another tool in the KGB's arsenal, reserved for eliminating particularly troublesome individuals. These operations were often carried out with chilling efficiency, using poisons, staged accidents, or carefully planned ambushes. The KGB's willingness to resort to such extreme measures instilled fear in its enemies and served as a stark reminder of the consequences of crossing the Soviet Union. The KGB's activities during the Cold War were shrouded in secrecy, but occasional glimpses into its operations have emerged over the years, revealing the daring and ruthlessness of its agents. One such case was that of Aldrich Ames, a high-ranking CIA officer who turned double agent for the KGB in 1985. Ames betrayed his country for money, providing the Soviets with a treasure trove of classified information, including the identities of CIA assets operating within the Soviet Union. The consequences of Ames's treachery were devastating. Many of the agents he exposed were arrested and executed, dealing a severe blow to US intelligence gathering capabilities within the Soviet Union. Ames's betrayal sent shockwaves through the intelligence community, highlighting the vulnerability of even the most secure organizations to infiltration. Another chilling example of the KGB's reach and ruthlessness was the assassination of Alexander Litvinenko in 2006. Litvinenko, a former KGB officer who had defected to the United Kingdom, was poisoned with polonium-210, a rare and highly radioactive substance. He died a slow and agonizing death, his murder sending a clear message: betrayal of the Russian state, even after the collapse of the Soviet Union, would not be tolerated. Section 5. The Fall of the Iron Curtain, the KGB's demise. The year 1991 marked a watershed moment in history. The Soviet Union crumbled, leading to the end of the Cold War and the KGB. The KGB was disbanded, its functions divided among new Russian agencies. Many former KGB agents found new roles in the Russian government. The KGB's legacy and methods continue to influence Russian intelligence. Section 6. From the ashes of the KGB, the rise of the FSB. From the ashes of the KGB rose the Federal Security Service of the Russian Federation, or FSB. Established in 1995, the FSB inherited many of the KGB's functions, becoming Russia's primary internal security agency. Tasked with counterintelligence, counterterrorism, and internal security, the FSB quickly established itself as a powerful force in Russian politics. While the FSB may have lacked the global reach of its Cold War predecessor, it proved to be no less ruthless in pursuing its objectives. The agency played a key role in consolidating President Vladimir Putin's grip on power, silencing dissent, and neutralizing opposition figures. Its methods, honed during the KGB era, remained chillingly familiar: surveillance, intimidation, disinformation, and in some cases, elimination of opponents. The FSB's activities extended beyond Russia's borders. It maintained a keen interest in events in former Soviet republics, seeking to maintain influence and prevent them from aligning too closely with the West. The FSB also became increasingly active in cyberspace, engaging in espionage, disinformation campaigns, and cyber attacks against perceived adversaries. Section 7. The KGB's lasting impact: espionage in the 21st century. The demise of the Soviet Union did not mark the end of espionage. If anything, it ushered in a new era of spycraft. One characterized by a more complex geopolitical landscape, the rise of new technologies, and the blurring of traditional battle lines. The KGB, despite its dissolution, continued to cast a long shadow over this new world. The methods pioneered by the KGB during the Cold War, such as disinformation, manipulation of the media, and political subversion, found new relevance in the 21st century. The rise of the internet and social media provided fertile ground for these tactics, allowing for the rapid and widespread dissemination of propaganda and disinformation. The KGB's legacy is also evident in the growing sophistication of intelligence agencies worldwide. The need to counter threats from both state and non-state actors, coupled with the rapid pace of technological advancement, has led to a surge in investment in intelligence gathering and analysis. The lessons learned from the Cold War, particularly the importance of human intelligence and the need for constant vigilance, remain as relevant as ever in this new age of espionage. Section 8. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of secrets and shadows. The KGB may be gone, but its legacy continues to shape the world we live in. The agency's methods and culture of secrecy serve as a stark reminder of the allure and danger of espionage. The KGB's story is a cautionary tale highlighting the need to safeguard democratic values. The world of espionage is shadowy and morally ambiguous. The KGB's efficiency and willingness to cross lines remind us of the potential for abuse of power. Democracies must balance protection and upholding values. Remember the lessons of the past as we navigate the 21st century. The KGB's story reminds us of the importance of critical thinking and the fragility of freedom. The shadows of the KGB may have receded, but vigilance and the pursuit of truth remain vital.